Thank you very much. We have the honor today to present the company overview of Luminus on behalf of LED Professional. So thank you for the opportunity to present Luminus to you. My name is Robert de Jonge. I'm responsible for sales and business development for Luminus in the EMEA region, Europe, Middle East, and Africa. So a short summary on Luminus. Luminus is improving lives with photons. So we are creating market-enabling products across different market segments using photonic innovation. We have best-in-class performance in brightness, and we're covering a whole full wavelength spectrum. And yeah, we're offering unique capabilities towards market segments that in some cases cannot be done by other LED vendors. So if we look to the core competences that we have, as already stated, we're covering a very broad spectrum. We have the broadest portfolio of product platforms across the wavelengths. So you can see it's going from UVC all the way up to IR and anything in between. So in the visible area and in the non-visible area, going from 265 nanometers up to 940 nanometers. Not only that, we also have the highest current density in the industry, so up to 6.5 amp per square millimeter. Yeah, that's quite high. When I started with Luminus in 2009, we had something like 1.5 amp per square millimeter. Again, that's 15 years ago, but it shows you that over 15 years, we went from 1.5 amp per square millimeter up to 6.5 amp per square millimeter. And because of this high current density, we're able to provide the brightest light sources in the world for medical applications, for non-automotive, automotive, industrial market segments, wherever a bright light is required. And because of that, we're able to replace a lot of the existing lighting technology, be it xenon, be it high intensity discharge or halogen. Next to that broad wavelength spectrum that we have, we also have the opportunity to create custom precision spectra for demanding applications, which means we can develop a dedicated wavelength required for a specific market segment. And of course, when you have a lot of high brightness lights, we need to have reliable and high power packages. So a lot of our core boards are requiring a lot of good packaging, which is mostly copper or really thick thermal packages, ensuring that we have excellent reliability on all our products. Global presence. So Boston has been the headquarters for Luminus, and when Luminus was founded in 2002, it's actually a spin-off from MIT in Cambridge. We had the headquarters in Boston. In 2013, Luminus merged with Lightera, and Lightera is based in Silicon Valley in California, in Sunnyvale. And Lightera is a 100% owned subsidiary by Sanan Optoelectronics. And when the merger in 2013 between Luminus and Lightera, the headquarters became Silicon Valley, Sunnyvale, and gradually we closed Boston after the merger. And then Luminus, automatically owned by Lightera, became, and we use the name Luminus, not Lightera. Luminus became also a wholly owned subsidiary of Sanan Optoelectronics. So within the headquarters, we have product development, R&D, sales, product marketing, finance, quality. And then we have also because Sanan Optoelectronics is based in China, we have in China a lot of R&D and operations, and of course sales and marketing. But sales and marketing is across the globe. We have sales and marketing in the US. In Eindhoven, that's where I'm based and located, we have sales and marketing, basically for business development, where we have a small office at the high-tech campus in Eindhoven. And currently we have a team of 5 people serving the customers in Europe. And then indeed we have the same sales and marketing in Japan, in Singapore, in Shenzhen, in Shanghai, in Taiwan. And we have, of course, operations not only in China, but also in Malaysia. As already stated, Luminus is a wholly owned subsidiary of Sanan. Sanan Optoelectronics, it's the largest LED supplier in the world. And with LED supplier, I mean the wafers that the LEDs are made of. So they have a lot of reactors in order to make LED wafers. Sanan Opto is listed on the Shanghai Stock Exchange. And it's quite a large company. Over 20,000 people working for Sanan, technical workforce, and engineers all over the world in China, Japan, Europe, and US. As stated, one of the focus markets is LEDs, but within optoelectronics, not only LEDs, but also laser, and outside the optoelectronics, power semicon, RF, but also power electronics and filters and optical communication, optical devices. As stated, the largest LED wafer chip production capacity in the world. And they're also pioneer in RF foundry business, and the same is now starting for silicon carbide and gallium nitride for power semicon. One of the, let's say, recent announcement is that they're going to do a joint venture, a dedicated fab for silicon carbide products together with ST Microelectronics in China. A lot of IP, not only from Luminus, but also from Sanan, which covers a lot of the technology being used in LEDs, lasers, and power semiconductors. So Luminus is a fabless photonic company, and we're leveraging the production facilities of Sanan and other contract manufacturers. So all the wafers are coming from Sanan, but they are in development with our R&D team in the US. And we are specifying the new products or new wavelengths, but we have the, let's say, opportunity that we're vertically integrated, and we can make use of the Sanan R&D teams to develop dedicated wavelengths or use existing products that Sanan is developing for other market segments. So as stated, the fab is Sanan. We have a pilot assembly production line in California, in Sunnyvale office. For the packaging, we use contract manufacturing. So we have assembly and testing of the packaging in multiple locations in Asia, Taiwan, the Philippines, China, and Malaysia for volume production. And of course, we're in line with all the manufacturing standards and certifications. So it's ISO 9001 for automotive. We're starting with automotive since 1 or 2 years. So we have our IATF letter of conformance, and also the ISO certification that is related to that. The market segments that Luminus is focusing on. So you see an overview of 5 main segments where we have a lot of our market segments underneath. So the first one being health and well-being, medical, but also kind of human-centric lighting. Second is more we call metaverse, augmented reality, virtual reality, automotive, strong growing market segment. And I understand that the automotive lighting market might in 1 or 2 years become bigger than the general lighting market, and by that is the biggest lighting segment in the world. Industrial transformation, machine vision, all kinds of 3D printing, things that are underneath this market segment. And the last but not least, consumer experience. Market segment, health and well-being, medical, but also in medical endoscopes, where Luminus is the market leader. We started probably 10, 15 years ago, providing LED light sources to the main endoscope players in the market. And we're clearly the market leader in endoscopes. Reason is that an endoscope, you need to couple the light into a fiber, and therefore you need a very limited étendue LED, providing a lot of light, therefore the highest current density products that we have, to get a lot of brightness into the fiber. Sanitation, which is more UV disinfection, water purification, air purification. So that's our UVC portfolio. Well-being, that's kind of broad. I already mentioned human-centric lighting, but also horticulture we see as being well-being, because it's food and the creation of food using LEDs to in the horticulture market to grow the products without sunlight or during even the dark hours when there is no sunlight. Second market segment, metaverse, as already stated, this is augmented reality, but also 3D live entertainment. This is a company where we're providing the technology. It's called kind of holographic imaging, and it's a kind of without the 3D glasses, you see things projected on a stage, where you can see the things in 3D because of this holographic imaging. This whole augmented and virtual reality headsets, also Luminus is providing dedicated LEDs for these products. You can see this is still not in volume business, but everybody is trying to get this into let's say volume business. Virtual reality headsets, you can think of the Apple Vision Pro that is using this kind of virtual reality headset, but also there are, that's more augmented reality, where you have glasses where you can see the environment, and then things are projected in the glasses. It can be kind of navigation, can be information when you are walking through a city, and then you see a certain nice touristic element, and then you can get extra information that will pop up. So you're not connected to your screen and watching your screen all the time. No, you're watching the touristic event, and you can clearly see what kind of extra information on this attraction you're getting. Automotive, of course, the main market segment there is the headlights, but for the moment, Luminus is mostly active in the displays. Think about automotive projection, where you are projecting something on the ground, a welcome message, or the logo of the car, but also inside the car, interior projection. More and more things are projected on the screen of the car, instead of watching at the display here, where you can see your speed or navigation. It's projected here on the screen itself, which is much safer because you keep your eyes on the road instead of watching down towards the display that is here underneath your steering wheel. You can see this, and you continuously are focused on the road, which of course improves the safety. And Luminus is developing together with our mother company, Sanan, also micro LED products and laser products that also can be used in automotive. But of course, this is not yet available on the market. But yeah, we're in development, and in a few years, we're also expecting that we are able to launch the micro LEDs and lasers onto the market for automotive. Industrial transformation, I already mentioned machine vision and 3D printing. 3D printing is industrial, but also kind of professional consumer markets. So you can think of the 3D printing of the sole of sports shoes, where something that can't be done with molding would really need to be 3D printed. And you can imagine if you 3D print that, you want to have high current density, because then you can increase the speed of creating it. You can already see here the sole of a sports shoe, and then this sole is then 3D printed, and then yeah, by increasing the current density, you can get this faster, and you can get more. You can ramp up the volumes, and you can go into mass production, making these kind of 3D printed soles. Consumer experience, covering kind of high-end adaptive lighting, tunable white, warm dim, but also in restaurants and in stores, that you adjust the light to the current setting, be it winter, be it summer, that there is more light from the outside or less from the outside, adapt towards the seasons, but also adapt during the day on the daylight cycle and the rhythm of, well, in the morning, different light than in the evening. The other one being entertainment, stage and studio, so that those are the kind of entertainment lights you see when you go to a concert or the Eurovision Song Contest, using these kind of wash lights, but also in theater and in studios for film, TV studio. These kind of products are really dedicated products for dedicated applications. For studio light, you can imagine you want to have high color rendering in order to make sure that the camera is capturing all the stuff that they are putting on the camera with the greatest color and the greatest color rendering. So we have basically within Luminus two business units. One that we call light for living, or more illumination, or the traditional general lighting. You can see indoor and outdoor here. Mostly for Luminus, it's shop lighting, retail display, hospitality. There's more hotels, bars, restaurants, residential, indoor products, industrial and outdoor. So can be street lights, can be parking lot lights, or warehouse lighting, office and education. So here you can think of in a classroom that you warm dim the products when there is a presentation, or in an office that you have tunable white solutions. Museum and architectural, so there it's all about the color quality. So there it's not so much the high efficiency that you want to achieve, which is more something that you want in retail display. It's more about making sure an object is light perfectly, or a painting is having a great color rendering, great color quality, and all the colors. So there it's really about matching halogen with the CRI close to 100 when you use an LED, and also a full spectrum of the light, but no UV. So we're staying away from the UV, but we have a product that we call smooth white. That's really a product that is following the halogen spectrum very closely, and therefore has a very good color rendering and color quality. The second business unit we call light for working, or specialty lighting. And specialty lighting can go from medical and life sciences to projection and display, 3D printing and curing, more UV, disinfection and purification, UVC, stage and studio, the entertainment part, that can be high brightness white, or RGBW or RGB line. Industrial and machine vision can be high brightness color, high brightness white, depending on what you're going to do with the product. Horticulture and farming, this is a lot of the color products, deep red, fire red, blue, green, white, everything to enable, let's say, the growth of the products that within horticulture. Can be lettuce, can be herbs, and even in some cases it can be the cannabis that is specifically very popular in the United States, to grow that, and where they have legalized that in many states. Personal and work lights, more or less non-automotive, so the work lights on a tractor, or caterpillar kind of stuff. Personal stuff there could be tactical flashlights or flashlights. Tactical flashlights being used by police and fireworks. Night vision and sensing, those are more our IR products. And also sensing could be for a license plate recognition, that you are sensing the car, and then a picture is taken for these kind of products. To give you a couple of application examples of these two business units, I would like to show you a couple of examples. So here there is an example of usage of our high brightness green products, green LEDs, for a heads-up display for a commercial aircraft. So you can see the heads-up display. Of course, when you are being used in an aircraft, you need to ensure very good reliability, and that this is working always. So this also shows that our products are living up to the standards of high reliability in very demanding applications. Then the beacons at the Freedom Tower in New York, using our Luminus LEDs, high brightness white LEDs being used, but also colors, blue. So yeah, in that sense, you can see them from far away. And yeah, those high brightness white luminous LEDs can go up to several thousand lumens per LED. And of course, multiple LEDs are being used in these kind of lighting installations. Studio lighting, dedicated COBs that we're creating or have created for the studio and film industry. So you see here our CVM32. So that's a 32 millimeter LES with daylight high CRI and tungsten high CRI. And very important, this TLCI, this is a dedicated measure for television. And close to 100 is the best. So 99 plus is really very good. And then of course CRI, yeah, typical 97, but we realize 97 plus, and the R9 level is also very good. What you can see, this picture that is being used by one of our customers, this is Skylight Balloons. Unfortunately, I couldn't use pictures that Skylight is using their pictures for film and TV studio, because those are, of course, rights of those movies, which you can't get. But this one is Skylight Balloon being used at our Luminus booth. during Light 23 in the UK. So you can see this is the Luminus booth, and here you can see a skylight balloon, and then this one is capable of going towards tungsten to daylight, so you could tune them into different color temperatures, but each color temperature is delivering over 70,000 lumens. Yeah, it was really amazing and attracting a lot of people to our booth, because you're creating really truly either daylight or tungsten light at the area where you're projecting this skylight balloon. Medical, already stated, endoscopy, where Luminus is the market leader. Yeah, so we're developing. So the first ones we developed 10, 15 years ago. There is already a second generation products for endoscopy, and we're now also developing even a third generation. And then those generations, Gen 2 and Gen 3, are again higher current density and a higher brightness being delivered. So we're going higher and higher, completely replacing the xenon lights that used to be used by endoscopy customers. Customers are happy to move away from xenon because xenon contains mercury. And of course, if a mercury bulb breaks, you don't want to have that in a hospital area. Therefore, LEDs are much safer. LEDs can be switched on and off immediately. So a lot of advantages by using LEDs, let alone the safety of not having a mercury bulb that can break into a hospital environment. Then the high performance flashlights I already mentioned. We're being used by a lot of the flashlight manufacturers. Examples here, LED lenser, where you have these kind of headlamps, but also flashlights, where you can see here examples where different luminous LEDs are being used. And yeah, this is really a kind of booming area where we see a lot of LEDs of luminous being used because of the high brightness and the perfect reliability. Then in projection and display, so we started in the early days. Luminus was mainly projection and display. We have been into the first rear projection TVs with our RGB LEDs. Then that was kind of rear projection. Then we moved on to front projection. And now we are into front projection, what you can call pico projection, where you have really small, so you can see the projector here, small projectors, where you can project the movie onto the wall or onto a screen. And especially in Asia, you see this being used. More and more people are moving away from a television screen. People are streaming a lot of content, either a movie or Netflix or even television. And with this, you don't have to have a TV screen. You just can go to a certain area and project. And also for gaming, this is perfect. So yeah, those are transportable home theaters enabled by pico projectors using Luminus RGB LEDs. So yeah, this is to the end of our company introduction. Thank you for your attention, and yeah, hope to see you somewhere on a show with Luminus where we have a booth. And thank you for your attention. Thanks.